すまない。
Sometimes our shower thoughts get a little out of pocket. So let's jump right into my question, shall we? If you clean a vacuum cleaner, doesn't that make you the vacuum cleaner? If time is money, isn't a time machine? When you say forward or backward, your lips move forward. So what happens when you say left or right? If you drop soap, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty? If you're waiting for the waiter, aren't you the waiter? If a word is misspelled in the dictionary, how would anyone ever know? If you get out of the shower clean, why does your towel eventually get dirty? If two mind readers read each other's minds at the same time, whose mind are they reading? If we park and drive on a parkway, who named these things? If oranges are called oranges, why aren't bananas called yellows? If you take a selfie in the mirror, isn't that technically a picture of your camera? If nothing is impossible, is it possible for something to be impossible? If you dig a hole in the ground, where does the dirt go? If you're born at home but die in the hospital, do you actually complete the tutorial level? Why do we say sleep like a baby when babies wake up every 2 hours? If we have fingerprints, do we also have toe prints that unlock something we don't know about? If you ate pasta and anti-pasta, would you still be hungry or disappear? If you're invisible but close your eyes, can you still see yourself? If you're thinking about nothing, is that still something? If a fly loses its wings, is it now called a walk? If one teacher can't teach all subjects, why do we expect one student to learn all subjects? If we can imagine colors that don't exist, have we actually seen them? If you choke on water, are you just drinking it wrong? If you say, I'm lying, are you telling the truth or lying? If you throw your clock out the window, do you get to see time fly? If money doesn't grow on trees, why do banks have branches? If you hate haters for hating, aren't you a hater too? If you buy a boomerang and it doesn't come back, is that your fault or the boomerang's? If we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? If everything is made of atoms, then atoms are mostly empty space, why can't we walk through walls? If we're 70% water, does that mean we're basically cucumbers with anxiety? If humans ever teleport, will we arrive naked because clothes aren't technically you? If a turtle loses its shell, is it homeless or just naked? If you punch yourself and it hurts, are you weak or strong? If you sneeze while blinking, is that a micro nap? If a zombie eats a vegan, does it become plant-based? If laughter is the best medicine, why don't hospitals hire comedians? If you imagine the sound of your own voice, whose voice is that? If you drop your phone on your face, is that gravity or karma? If a fly can't land on something because it's fly paper, is it still fly paper? If you drink water from a cup, who owns the water? You or the cup. If you paint a zebra black, is it still a zebra or now just confused? If ghosts can walk through walls, why don't they fall through floors? If the early bird gets the worm, what does the late bird get? Depression? If you can see your dreams, why can't you take screenshots? If your shadow disappears at night, where does it go? If milk comes from almonds, who's milking the almonds? If time heals all wounds, why do Band-Aids exist? If every mirror you've looked into has seen you naked, is that harassment? If you give a fish water, is that considered a gift? If a hoodie doesn't have strings, is it still a hoodie or just a sweater in denial? If fear is just imagination, why is it so good at its job? If ketchup is technically a smoothie, is mustard a milkshake? If you can't taste your own tongue, how do you know it tastes good? If a candle smells good, does it smell itself? If money talks, why is yours so quiet? If the moon can make waves in the ocean, could it mess with my bathtub? If robots take over the world, will they still need Wi-Fi? If people say the sky's the limit, what about astronauts? And if you close the fridge slowly, can you catch the light turning off?
That's enough internet for me today.
That's a wrap. Let's halt the mental gymnastics for the meantime. Ever got some weird shower thoughts and even weirder questions? Let me know, because nothing entertains me more than our odd little curiosities. Those things come when you least expect them, so I'll definitely have more questions to ask next time. Anyways, it's Current Champ here reminding you, always be unapologetically curious. Peace.
And I'ma just do me. A new thing hold me down on 2 feet. That's 10 toes, bust 4, 5, and 6 foes. Need 2.